So I am Aminata, Desert Rose Plant Walker Firewoman, and I'm back here with Ayanna Freedom, author, nonprofit founder, yoga teacher, clinical therapist. So, Ayanna, I want to come back to this book,
Mm.
Unfuck You're Stuck. Tell us about that book. Why did you write that book?
Well, it's funny. So it's kind of a twist on the 12 steps. So when I was thinking about after the first book, I have an agent and a publisher, and I wanted to write a second one, but I wasn't sure like what else. I wanted to tell people tools of how to actually like use the stuff, right? Because like I tell the story, but I don't give you nuggets of like how, like you were asking me before, like how do you actually do that? So I was like, let me see how did I like marry the body elements, with the other things. So I just was like, if I looked at the 12 steps and kind of used it as, wait a second, I sort of adapted that to like body agreements. So in order for me to like move out the trauma, I have to make these what I call the 12 body agreements. So it's like 12 body agreements of freedom. So the book walks you through like how to you can create your own template of like how to do that. The book walks you through how to do that. I have my 12. And then number one I think is like listen to your body, right? And so what kind of walks you through how did I teach myself how to actually listen to my body. It sounds simple, but it's actually so sophisticated, but because it really takes being present. And how do you actually allow yourself to be present in the present moment? People think it sounds so simple, and it actually is as far as a tool. But like when you think about when humans sit down, the amount of thoughts that they have that are not true probably are like what 90% of the thoughts that we have aren't true. So it's how do you walk yourself through what is true and how do you know it's true and really be with your body. So there's like 12 agreements there that I walk through people, and then I talk about like there's segments of how did I get there, like what was the story that kind of was the catalyst for whatever body agreement I made. So that's kind of what the book is about. And I swear a lot. I swear a lot. That's why, because we were trying to figure out what the title should be. And my agent was like, well, you got to stay on brand. Like, you just
Yeah.
got to. I was like, oh, yeah, we'll just keep the swearing
Mm. Unfuck your stuck.
there. Oh,
And
yeah.
and so these 12 agreements that you identify with yourself, or you can use the
Mhm.
agreements that Ayana has created with her
Yep.
body as a model. I mean, I think it's okay to use to have like training wheels, to have
Right.
like, I like what she did. Let me do what she did. And then
Right.
you can modify it. So don't feel like, that get started.
Right. Do something.
Get started.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if people want to get this book, Ayana, how would they get it?
You can go to my website or it's just on Amazon. You can just order it right there.
Well,
Yeah.
what is your website?
AyannaFreedom.com is my
Okay.
personal website. And there's actually, so in the back of the book, there's like a bunch of different activities and exercises
Hmm.
that people can do to help them sort of create their own template for the 12 body agreements. But if they go to the website, there is a meditation for each section of the book. So it's like connecting, grounding, growing, I think, something like that.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, there's a meditation for each, so you can get the meditations on the website. So when you get the book, you can play the meditations for each of the activities, and then you're sort of already set up in how to do it. And the meditations I would actually use like on a regular basis. They sound
Yes.
crazy, but when I teach yoga, so I teach yoga for a bunch of different marginalized communities, but one of them is the Department of Youth Services, so young men. Most of all are who are men of color. And I do yoga with them, and I play my own meditation for them every time so that they can get just the routine of, and then we do sections of like grounding, connecting, growing, and then we have discussions about it. So they think it's funny because I get to they get to swear in the group because the book is called that.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually swear in one of the meditations that I totally forgot about, and I played it the other day, and they were dying laughing. They're like, "Yo, you just swore in your own meditation." I'm like, Yeah, I did that, didn't I? But it was cute. They wanted to listen to it like three more times just so they're like, it's coming. The swear is coming.
Yes.
But right, who cares? They're meditating in the middle of like being locked up. I don't really care what gets them
Mm,
to do that. Yeah.
mm. So if you were going to leave us with one piece of, one nugget about being free, experiencing yourself as a free person, what's one thing you would suggest that we do, or a mantra that we think, or
Yeah, I
anything?
mean, two things come to mind. One is that no matter what you've experienced, you, like you sort of said, you already are free. Like there's nothing that can cage you really, other than yourself, even though it feels different, right? Even though like the boys at DYS are like, I hate this, I want to get out of here, it's everyone else's fault. And it's like, you have more control than you think. But that also teaches them, I have to teach them about meditation and movement and freedom, and that, this whatever trauma is connected to what they did is not their fault. So if anyone is experiencing trauma and that has led them to different things in their life, could be addiction, could be getting in jail, a lot of that is just the result of, even if you didn't have something traumatic happen to you, if you're a person of color growing up in the world, that is traumatic. And so you're going to have ways in which you don't feel free, but you can be free in your body.
Mm.
And the other thing I would say is that people don't know that breath is the one thing that can calm down your parasympathetic nervous system when you're stressed. It's actually the only thing. So even though people want to grab like a cigarette or like a cookie, I do it all the time, or a drink, or porn, or like the TV or your phone, right? The phone is so toxic in so many ways, but we have to let it all that go and just come back to the breath. It's just that simple.
Do you have a favorite breath exercise that you do?
I mean, box breath is really fun to teach. It's just when you inhale for a count of four, hold for a count of four, exhale for a count of four. So that's my favorite.
Yeah. So would you
And
walk us through that so our
oh
our
yeah, so
listeners know
you
what it is?
inhale for like you count of four. So you're inhaling, pause. So just hold it, count of four, exhale, count of four, pause, and then inhale, count of four, pause, exhale. And you got your box. You just do that.
Mm,
And what's beautiful is that it's really fun to teach in like DYS or jails because you see the people really, they have something tangible with their finger that they have control over, right? And I always joke with the kids, I'm like, instead of getting restrained, imagine if you just got your finger out and started box breathing
mm,
instead of you want to punch somebody.
mm,
And they joke, but it's happened, right? Where they're like,
mm.
right? How powerful is that?
I love it. I love it. And it just strikes me. I think we were talking about this before the call too. If you find your own thinking, you can be by yourself and drive yourself
Right?
nuts. So if you find
Totally,
yourself
totally. I still do it.
right, right, exactly. So, but if you catch it, you can then take yourself into a box breath just to
Yes,
interrupt the thinking.
exactly, exactly. And I do it in the car all the time because for some reason when I'm in the car, that's in the negative thinking. I'm just enclosed by it. So I'm like, and then I'll forget to breathe. But when I'm at a red light, all the time I have a little thing on my car that says red light, box breath. So
Yes.
that I'm like, oh, okay, oh God, I really got lost there in my thoughts, but now I have my breath and I'm back. Right. But
Yes.
I wouldn't know unless there was a big sign in my car that says breathe. And
Okay.
then you do the breath for as long as the red light is there.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
So we have two tips for you. So we have this box breath on a red light,
Yeah.
and I'm going to throw in anytime you hear the song Valerie,
Oh, yeah, that.
say a little thank you to Valerie. You're a mother.
Yeah.
Or you could breathe then too. You could do your box breath then. Say like, okay, let me
Yeah,
do my
the
little
deep
box
breath.
breath.
be with like this woman. I mean, she as much of an addict as she was the most free person I've ever met in my whole life. I mean, she was unapologetic about anything, even her addiction. Right? Imagine that.
Mm,
Yeah. Even though it was harmful to me, it was the most powerful thing to witness at
mm,
the same time.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us,
Yeah.
Ayanna
Thank you so much for
Freedom.
asking me. What an honor.
I hope that we will get to work with you again. And your website is ayannafreedom.com.
Yep.
Go there, check out those meditations. You can also get Ayanna's books, Becoming Free
Mm-hmm.
and Unfuck Your Stuck.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, everybody.
Peace out.